Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Lorraine Hoving.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. And I'm your host, Lorraine Hoving. And today I have the great honor and privilege to bring back Lorraine Hoving.
Hey.
Yes, triple yay.
Hey, everybody.
Lorraine is a speaker and author. We're going to talk about that. A radio show host of Never Too Late Ever and a loser. 130 plus pounds. I love saying it like that because it's so much fun. What? A loser? Yeah, 130 plus pounds. When Lorraine turned 60, she realized her life was 2/3 over if God blessed her with an additional 30 more years. All of the goals that she had set out to do year after year had eluded her and lay there in a big heap of empty promises. Some promises were over 45 years old. And she asked herself, was this all? Would I ever change, or could I ever change? And we're going to find out now. Welcome, Lorraine.
Hey, well, hi, Nada. It's so good to talk to you again.
Oh, it is awesome.
You just make me smile.
Well, I have to tell you, it is like there is such an energy when I speak with you because I always feel like I'm levitating right out of my chair. It's wild. I love it. It's so good.
Great.
It's fabulous. So, Lorraine, first listeners, please go back and listen to episode 1 if you happen to miss it, because we talked about Lorraine and as a young child and putting on excess weight, hence losing 30 plus pounds. And we were ending with Lorraine being an author, because the last time I talked to you, I didn't know that you were a published author. So, and I downloaded a chapter from your book, and you can do that if you go to Lorraine's website, which is Never Too Late Ever, or just LorraineHoving.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
Or just Lorraine Hoving. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
LorraineHoving.com. Correct. Okay.
And you can download the chapter, and hopefully you can find it in your computer, unlike me, who has no idea where they disappear to. So, but I will find it. So how did that come about, Lorraine? And what is that chapter all about that you wrote in that book? And what's the name of the book? Because now something limits, beyond limits. Got the name of the book?
You know what? I don't have the book in front of me. It's to do with inspiration. Oh gosh, that's so crazy. Nobody has asked me lately, so if you could hang on, I could run and get it. But what I want to say, it's a book with 13 other authors, and that's why we did a compilation of all together. And that happened because I had taken a speaker's course, and then one of the offers was for us to write our own chapter. And my own chapter is about my childhood and kind of the story that I told last week of the trauma that had happened when I lost my father and how my brother bullied. And then it's about, taking time. Well, today is still today, because we always go, I always think, well, if not now, then when? Because I was always putting it off until tomorrow. So then I would try a diet on Monday, and by noon, if I had blown it, then I'd say, okay, I'm going to do it next day. Then it would be the next week. Then it would be the next year. So the importance of time as we get older, because now I'm 66 and the clock stop ticking, Nada. It just keeps going. And so we know every single day I have one day shorter on this earth than I did yesterday. And what are we going to do about it? And so it was just the chapter is about that and about my childhood.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm going to find it and listen to or read it because I would love to read you as a reader. I mean, I know how it is to have a conversation with you, but now I want to see what it's like to read your words. So I'm excited for that. So thank you for sharing that. And I love this. You're 66 years old and you're out there zip lining with your husband. I saw the pictures. You're zip lining.
Yes, I loved zip lining. It was so fun. And I think too, when I talked about getting my little girl back, that was part of it, because suddenly I could do things that I couldn't do before. And so it's like every day's an adventure. And I love to take a little bit of risks, so I don't mind, I wouldn't mind jumping out of a plane, actually, but my husband's not so sure about that. But anyway, yeah. So, you saw the zip lining picture on Facebook. Yeah. And it's that journey with my husband, endeavoring and making the intent to make this part of our life absolutely the best chapter ever. And I can tell you that's what's happening. So.
Oh, I love it. So can you tell us a little bit about that, Lorraine, about this chapter of your life? Like what all is taking place? What makes this chapter so beautiful? You're so full of life. I could talk to somebody else who's 66 years old and they're complaining about aches and pains. I can talk to a 45-year-old and they're complaining about aches and pains. And you wouldn't know how old you are by listening to you or to look at any of your pictures, because you always have this beautiful smile on your face. And it's not a smile, I'm smiling for the camera. It's this inside out joy that comes from you. And it's beautiful. So tell me what's happening in this chapter. What are you guys doing to endeavor this beautiful part of your life?
Well, when you're talking about that, I see it as attitude. So I love this poem. There's a poem by Chuck Swindoll, and it talks about how 90% is 10% is circumstances and 90% is our attitude. So if you focus on achy and things that go wrong, there's no joy. There's no joy, because what you focus on becomes bigger. So we try and focus on the good things in life. We've been together for 44 years, and it's no longer that, like I said in that post, that we fight to be right. Now we fight for each other to become all that we can be. And that's the exciting part, I think, is when you get this age, you start not caring about what other people are thinking, because that's their business. It's none of yours. Exactly. And you start not to worry about everything, about having everything perfect. So I think this part of our life is like, the only way I can explain it is living authentically. Finally, we get to be who we are. It does not matter what has happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. We just focus on what is good in today, what is good with each other. And then we like to take adventures. We like to travel. We like to, even as simple as going for rides. We both get excited. Let's go for a ride over here. Let's go. We just love to be together. And I guarantee you, you could ask me to be with any famous person, and if I had a choice to be with a famous person or my husband, I would rather spend time with my husband. And I think it's because when you've been married this long, you are comfortable. You don't have to pretend. You just get to be you, and it's beautiful. And it's like bringing that little girl or that little boy back again. And so that's kind of how our relationship is, and this chapter is. So it's exciting. We're about to turn another little corner here in a little bit, and we're excited to see what's around the next corner.
Yes, yes. Wow, phenomenal. And you guys moved. Can I share that since I just did? Or since I had amnesia?
We did. And so right now we're located in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. Yeah. And we have a wonderful condo with a view of the ocean. And my husband is a yacht broker. So we spend a lot of time on the waters. That's one of the things that we really dearly love, is getting out in the water and, going to different islands. So that's one of our favorite things to do.
Yes. Wow. So now, was that hard for you? Because it seems like that moving in and of itself, because you were in Washington State, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Right. So it seems like it's hard just to even move out of your neighborhood to, like, from one little city to just like maybe 15 miles away to another city, or one house to if you're downsized, it's like, oh, we have so many memories here and so much stuff here. But then to even move into another country, I know it's not that far away, but still it's a different country, and there's different rules and different governments. And
you know what? I think that I would say that I love adventure, and that I like taking risks, because I found that the older I get, the more that if I get out of my comfort zone, I never get out of my comfort zone and then look back and go, oh, why did I do that? I usually get out of my comfort zone and say, whoa, because I've learned so much on the other side. Yeah. So, and I would say that to the listeners, when you're nervous about trying something new, go for it, because what I find is freedom on the other side. And if we in our worlds can become a little bit smaller as we get older, but what we want to do is extend it and have our world become bigger, but we have to do it with intent, because we will be fearful of getting out of our box. So that's what I would say about that, is that both of us actually, me a little bit more of a risk taker, but we both like adventure, and we like new things. We like new people. We love to travel, like new cultures, everything like that. So that's what I would encourage the audience to start doing as you get older, because it just brings such joy to your life.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And you can start off in little ways. You can start stepping out and just go, well, when things open up a little bit more. But even just like learning how to dance and being able to dance and dance, on a dance floor with other people, where so many times you'll sit back and like, oh, I wish I could, but I'm embarrassed and I'm not going to. And so in small ways, we don't even it doesn't have to be zip lining or moving, packing up your house and moving. I do have to ask you that though, Lorraine, because I was looking at my house going, if I had to pack this house up, oh my goodness. And I've only been here for 24 years. There's so much stuff. So was that hard?
It is hard, but you know what it is? It's actually very rewarding, because you have to get rid of the clutter. And so that's what I kind of liked about it, because I kind of like things neat and useful. My husband's a little bit more of a pack rat. So sometimes it was a little bit hard for him, but I know that in the end he was happy, because we actually took things we lived in Canada, then we went to California, then we took things that we never used, all those places, and we moved. Actually, Nada, we've moved 16 times, like sometimes just to, yeah.
Wow, awesome.
But the last house we were in there for 18 years. So that was the longest we'd ever been in a house. But some of the joy of moving is getting rid of the clutter, because as you get older, you realize that simplicity, there is a joy to be having things kind of more simple. You don't need as much stuff and junk to carry around. So I'd say that's one of the joys of moving, is that. So how long have you been in your house? 24 years?
24 years, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little, I have to tell you, it's so funny because I always say, Dennis, you are a pack rat. You have messes everywhere and I can't stand it.